Alright, I'm gonna do some spraying today. I already got 16 acres done Monday morning. Hoping to get the corn. I'll be able to get at least 3 fields done today, if not the last 4. Because I'm going to have to stop and fill the sprayer up again. But I'm hoping to get all the corn done either yet tonight or finish up tomorrow morning. And because I plan this week on starting to spread urea, hopefully by, damn it, hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday. Hopefully I got my radiator back for the 1950 by or Monday. I was hoping it was going to be done today, but they never called. And I wouldn't have worked on it this afternoon anyway, but it would have been nice to have it for this weekend. Shit. But I want to get all the corn sprayed so the Roundup has time to take effect and get everything burnt before I kill it with a cultivator. It's empty. Because in order for Roundup to work, the plant has to be actively growing. And there's no guarantee. I don't want to just cultivate it because a cultivator is not going to guarantee on a kill on everything. So it's better to spray it with Roundup first, then cultivate it. And the field will stay pretty much clean. And actually, it's a good way of controlling resistant weeds too, because anything that's resistant to Roundup, the Roundup's at least going to hurt it, injure it, and get it weakened, and then the cultivator will come through and finish it off, and the weed can't recover because it's already been stressed from the Roundup. So that's why I do it the way I do it. There's still a little bit left in there. Don't know if it's any good. It's been there for a year, but might as well get rid of it. You damn. Stay in there, you son of a bitch. I hate them hoses. The rubber hose will sit up there just nice and stick to the tank. Them fucking plastic jacketed ones. One, they kink real easy. And 2, they want to keep sliding out like that. But anyway. So I need another 2.5. I need another. I think I need another gallon. Alrighty, I got all my chemical in there, and I'm taking a full jug with me so I know I got enough to refill. So all that's left to do now is wait for the tank to fill up and head on out to the field. Alrighty. Well, I got the 13-acre field done. I didn't take any video of it because that field's point rows on top of point rows on top of end rows on top of point rows, so I kind of needed to be able to pay closer attention counting my rows turning around on the end. And even then I still got lost a couple times and had to stop the tractor, and I didn't have to get off the tractor, but I had to stop the tractor to count my rows. Plus, it didn't help that there were spots where I was spraying by braille, because since we haven't had any rain, the corn's not actually up yet. Same with this field. Although it looks like it's doing better than it was the other day when I drove by. Oh, and the logs are gone. They were gone. When did I come over here first time after that? I think I was over here sometime last weekend. Either must have been last Saturday, I think. Might have been last Friday. I'm away home from work. I swung by here. But either way, they were gone then, so he must have came and got them at some point during that week. He must have had a fun time, because they're gone now because they got wore out in the road, but there was skid marks all over where he'd been turning the skid loader around trying to pick them things up. So I had a little bit of a chuckle. Right now, I got the pump running because I'm agitating the tank, which basically what that means is there's two little venturi nozzles I got facing in my, I guess you call it my secondary return line. There's two return lines. There's the main one, which is this line right here, that's also got my pressure regulator on it, and then there's my secondary line here with the valve on it. And that valve turns my agitator on and off, and basically what that does is when you turn that on, it puts all the return pressure through that agitator line, and when the water comes out of those venturis, it sucks the other water in the tank through the venturi and keeps the tank stirred up. And on most modern sprayers, you agitate while you're spraying up to a point, and then once the tank gets low enough, you turn the agitator off to prevent it from foaming. But on this sprayer, the pump can't generate enough volume to maintain pressure to the nozzles and run the agitator all at the same time. So I don't agitate while I'm spraying, but on a 200-gallon tank, just bouncing through the field is enough to keep the chemical suspended. But normally what I do is, when I'm getting close to the field while I'm running down the road, I'll kick the PTO into gear and let it agitate. Then when I get to the field, I'll let it keep agitating while I'm unfolding the booms, and then when I start spraying, I'll kick it off. Shoot. That's still not too bad for a row I completely guesstimated. Right, it is that one. Yeah, because there's that 1, 2, yeah, there's my 4. So that right there is the one that I just completely made up because I didn't drop my marker arm. Awful damn close. I'm proud of myself. Anywho, I was able to fill my, well, 200 gallon I could spray 20 acres because I think I said in the in the video working on this thing. My carrier volume's 10 gallon an acre. So, and then get a little tweaked somehow. I'm putting on about 22 ounces of Roundup an acre, which is actually more of a moderate rate. Full rate is 32 ounces an acre, and I'm not spraying full rate for two reasons. A, nothing so far, none of these fields have really been that weedy, and the weeds that are there aren't really that big, so it doesn't really require a full rate. And two, we just ended our third week without any rain. Well, I'll take that back. We got somewhere between an 1/8 and 3/10 Wednesday or Thursday, or no, sorry, Tuesday or Wednesday, because today's Friday. Must have been Tuesday. We got like an 1/8 to it, or somewhere between an 1/8 and 3/10, depending on where you were standing. It wasn't nearly enough, because I went and checked fields the next day, and you could flick the first ½ inch of soil off, and it was dusty underneath. It was almost evaporating as fast as it was coming down, and the corn is starting to show a few signs of drought stress. And contrary to popular belief, corn and soybeans are Roundup resistant. They are not Roundup immune. And if corn or beans, or really anything that's Roundup ready for that matter, or anything that's any herbicide resistant crop for that matter, if it has been subjected to sufficient amounts of stress, you can damage or even kill whatever you're spraying when you don't mean to. So that's the other reason I'm not spraying full rate, is to avoid stressing out the corn any more than absolutely necessary. Plus, like here and there, and in that 13 acres it was even worse. There's corn that's just not even V1, it's only the thumb leaf, and the first leaf hasn't even collared out yet, coming out of the ground, because that 1/8 inch of rain we did get was enough to make it pop. Hopefully it'll be enough to make it keep on growing and not just stall out and die because it can't find moisture. But if it's too small, you can stress it out too, especially in a year like this. So basically I'm just trying to avoid doing all of the above. But anyway, oh, and before anybody makes a comment about me running this thing wide open when all I'm doing is spraying, the reason I'm running it wide open is because my spray rate is based on a field speed of 5 miles an hour. Third gear wide open on this thing is exactly 5.1 miles an hour. If I put it in fourth gear, I can get 5 miles an hour, but it's only like a quarter throttle, and I can't spin the pump fast enough to create the pressure to get my volume. So I have to run it in third gear wide open to get the right speed and get the right spray volume out of it. So that's why I'm doing that. I wish I didn't have to do it that way, but it is what it is. About the only thing I need to do to this sprayer yet, well, actually there's two things I need to do to it, but you're not going to find out about the other one until probably next weekend. But I need to get different springs on the booms because those don't have nearly enough give to them. and it makes the booms bounce real bad. It's actually smoother than I thought it would. I'm set up for spraying 30 feet or 12 rows, same thing. So down 30-inch rows, every 4 rows is 10 feet. For you guys that are spraying with older tractors and don't have a real good way of figuring out how fast you're going at what engine RPM and what gear and all that crap, I actually found out a real good way to do it watching a guy at a tractor pull. He was pulling in a speed limit class and he had an old Ford 7000, which obviously doesn't have a speedometer. So what he did was he took his Garmin GPS with the suction cup and stuck it to his tachometer in the dash so he could watch his speed. So that's what I did for this thing. I just held my GPS in my hand and drove and figured out what gear and what RPM I needed. Worked pretty good. Another thing you normally never want to do, but I just did it, is you never want to spray on a turn. And the reason is, your boom to the inside of the turn will slow down and you'll get a higher rate. Then the boom to the outside of the turn will speed up and you'll get a reduced rate of application. However, the reason I just did it is because on 30-foot booms it doesn't really make a shitting bit of difference. You spread that out over a 120-foot boom on a new sprayer though, makes a big difference. I'd actually be kind of curious to clock the end of a boom on one of those things with a turn and see how fast it's actually going. Because most with them new big row crop 4-wheel drive sprayers, you can spray 10 miles an hour no problem. So you take a turn at 10 miles an hour, one of them things, you're going to know it. I do not appreciate them damn telephone poles. Now the real kicker is I got 4 rows to spray there, but the telephone pole's right in the friggin' way. Dagnabbit. So what I'm gonna have to do is come in here like this. Oop, now I'm gonna catch it. Oop, oh, missed it. Come in here like this. And get it a little sideways. Something to that effect. And away we go. To avoid screwing myself up, since that's a point row, I want my left boom only, which is right there. I want my right boom, dumbass. That always screws me up. I always pick my booms looking backwards, and it's always the wrong one. I need to start thinking in forwards. And then back to all 3. I'm actually kind of impressed how good this field came up. I was kind of worried about it. But hell, it don't look bad at all. Even in the thin spots, it don't look too bad. One pick up and 4 right there. Heck, now it's point rows too. Normally I try to avoid starting on the side of the point rows, that way I don't get lost in it, but I'll run down there, work my way this way. When you start working with the point rows, it gets really easy to overspray. But since I'm only doing about a 3rd rate, it's not going to hurt anything much either anyway, so. since I'm set up for spraying 12 rows, but I plant 16 end rows, I just spray the outside 12 and then I turn around on the outside 12 and turn my booms on and off at the end of the last 4, so I cover everything. That way I don't gotta make a special trip all the way around with just my center booms on to spray 4 rows. Oh shoot. Now I just gotta find 4 and right there, that's what I want. Alright, another 8 acres down. That ought to put me let's see, 19, 10, 29. Puts me just shy of halfway done. I do have to fold the booms up on this thing in a certain order, otherwise they don't fit. And I do want to show you something to show what kind of ground I'm dealing with here, which is actually kind of pretty common for this neck of the woods. The infamous wet spot where I stuck the 1950T. Actually, both times I got stuck were in this field right there and right there. But this is where I got stuck with the T. I managed to get the ruts pulled most of the way shut with the field cultivator, but it was still too wet to plant through. But 3 weeks with no rain, still wet. There's got to be a spring or a broken field tile or something in this particular spot to make it stay wet like this. Hopefully next year I'll be able to farm through it, because it's kind of a pain in the ass having to do that, but it is what it is. Can't do nothing about it in a spring like this that's all jacked up and doesn't know what it wants to do. But there's still, he never even made it in the ground. I don't know what that gap in there. Get in there, maybe he'll still come up. He never made it in the ground either. But there's still corn that hadn't even unfolded its whorl yet. So hopefully some of these spots will fill in and it won't look like such a shitty stand. And the field behind the house where I'm going to next, that field's just there ain't no filling into it. It's a shitty stand. I don't even want to do a stand count on it because I'll probably cry. I'll maybe do a video of that tomorrow. Walk you back through there and show you what happened. Tell you what, this little tractor right here is about the best spraying tractor ever. Because right now, where it's set, it'll straddle 38-inch rows, it'll straddle 30-inch rows, it'll straddle 15-inch rows. And if the back tires were in there, it'd even straddle 7.5-inch rows. And it's light, so it doesn't do any compaction in the center of the row. Even with the wide front, thing almost turns on a dime. They're just 66s are sweethearts of little tractors. Everybody needs to have one of them. I'd really like to find its big brother, either a Super 66 diesel wide front or a 660 diesel wide front. The Super 66s are not easy to find, but they're a whole hell of a lot easier to find than 660 diesel wide fronts. And the other thing I'd like to do, just for shits and giggles really, is Caterpillar makes a little 4-cylinder diesel engine that's rated, I think, at like 40 or 42 horse. I think it'd be real cool to find a 66 rolling chassis and stick that little 4-cylinder in there. And then I don't know if any of you guys remember it, but that really old, like circa late 1970s Cat diesel power sticker with the big black letter C. I think that'd look real cool right there where it normally say Oliver diesel power, put Cat diesel power sticker on it. Have a little 40 horse diesel 66. I think that'd be cool as hell. But off to finish spraying, so that's another field of point rows on top of point rows on top of point rows. So probably won't do any video of that. And by the way, John Deere guys, I'd like to see you do that with a hand clutch. That was 4th to 6th without grinding the gears. But I guess that does it for this one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.